I wanted to record this video because I feel like some of you might be able to relate to this, and I really want to get to the reason why we're feeling like this. I am a barista and I'm 22, and I'm also running my own business, personal branding, coaching, photography. You can see all of that below. I moved to Sweden as well from the UK almost a year and a half ago, and then I got a part-time job to just pay my rent, making sure I've got that security and also make friends, and it's great. It's been incredible, and I love my job as a barista. But here's the problem. I love my job as a barista most of the time, obviously I don't love every single day, but overall I've met incredible people, I get incredible food, and it's in the centre of Stockholm. It's like beautiful. It's a beautiful place. But I can't help but feel that I'm failing or I am behind, and I am embarrassed of my job and the fact that I'm working there and trying to run my own business, because I am in this city, I am in Stockholm, where there's a lot of entrepreneurs here, or in the space that I am in anyway, there's a lot of entrepreneurs hanging here, and it's incredible, such a nice environment. So when I'm talking to entrepreneurs and people, I feel very embarrassed and I feel very behind, and I've been reflecting on this a lot and asking myself, why do I feel like this, and is it valid, is it good, is it a good emotion to feel, or is it bringing me down, and is it even bringing me further away from where I want to be, because I'm stuck in this mindset of embarrassed and behind. If I keep telling myself I'm behind, I'm embarrassed, I'm a failure, is that just keeping me there? I wanted to record this video because I feel like some of you might be able to relate to this, and I really want to get to the reason why we're feeling like this, because as I said, I've been reflecting on this a lot, and it's not a good feeling to feel. I do believe that it keeps me there, it keeps you behind when you're stuck in this mindset, and it's also just not worth it. And it's okay to feel that way, but it's so silly as well at the same time. So let's get into it. Let's talk about social media and the effect that social media has. Social media is an incredible place where you can get so inspired, but it's also hard because you can get so into a loop of comparison, into a loop of comparing your journey with other people's journeys. And this is why I think a lot of young people, including me, feel behind or feel like a failure because we haven't achieved a certain thing. I even heard Unjaded Jade. If any of you know Unjaded Jade, she's freaking incredible. Like, in my eyes, so extremely successful and amazing. She released a video saying that she even feels behind at the age of 23 because she's only just graduating uni, and a lot of people her age have already graduated like a year or 2 years ago. Even her, so successful in my eyes, feels behind. So what is this? Why do we always feel like we're not at another place that we should be? Why don't we just understand where we are now, where we are now, and be happy, be content with that whilst working towards something else? There's this negative feeling that a lot of young people have, feeling that we're just in the wrong place. And I don't think social media has created this feeling all by itself, but it definitely is amplified through social media because we see a lot of young people, especially in their 20s, doing all kinds of things. Some young people are having babies, getting married, millionaires, literally 22, at the age of 22, at the age of even younger than 22, they're millionaires. They have their own place, and it's easy to get into that loop of comparison. Why aren't I there? I'm such a failure. Like, they have the same tools as me, or even they went through hardships worse than me, but they're living better than me. It's this pool of just comparison and overthinking and not appreciating where we're at, but constantly comparing us to someone online who we don't really know. We don't really know their full story. No matter how much they've shared on social media, we don't know them. We don't know their story, but we're still comparing ourselves and we're still getting caught up in what they have rather than what we have. I think a way to approach social media rather than getting in that loop of comparison is really focusing on yourself, which I know that we are all doing already, but rather than constantly watching the people who have more than you, really just like understanding that you can have more and understanding that you can achieve more, and using what they have as a place to fuel you, as a means to fuel you and get you like striving further and wanting more, rather than get you feeling like, why don't I have more? I should have more. I'm a failure. Like, there's a big difference. We can use it to our advantage, but for some reason we don't. It's so much easier to use it to our detriment rather to use it to our advantage, because our minds are almost automatically going to the negative rather than going to the positive. So when we see someone with this incredible house in the Bahamas, it's like, oh, I want that. Why can't I have that? Why do they have that? But instead we should be thinking, oh, that's incredible. If they have that, I can have that too. And let it fuel you. So it's all about like a mindset shift, I think. That really, really helps when it comes to like feeling like you don't have things and you want more. Now, because like I have felt behind for a long time, but now I kind of don't. I'm quite over that feeling now. I wanted to use this video to share with you some work that I've done on myself in order to not feel behind and just appreciate where I'm at while still working towards getting out of the situation that I'm in. So taking responsibility for your feelings. This is the next thing that we all need to do. We all need to take responsibility for how we feel and understand that those feelings are just feelings and we have created them in our heads ourselves. And as soon as we understand that our feelings are just feelings and we can change them, this gives us so much more power to change the way we feel and overall change our life. Because when you change the way you feel, then you can change how you are showing up every day, and then that changes your life and the outcome of your life. So take responsibility for how you're feeling and don't put the blame on other people. Don't put the blame on Instagram. Don't put the blame on that millionaire you keep seeing content from. If it's really badly affecting you, unfollow them. If someone has upset you, if you can, cut them off. Cut them out of your life. Like, take responsibility and take control of the feelings and the things that you can control, because a lot of the time we actually can control these external things. And even if we can't, even if it's a very close friend and they have so much and they constantly talk about how much they have and it negatively affects you, okay, why does it negatively affect you? That's you. That's on you. If they're constantly talking about what they have, why don't you just see it as a positive thing? See it as a means to fuel you rather than thinking negatively about it. At the end of the day, you can take responsibility for your feelings and you can change them. And that's been really empowering for me, because now if I see people who are in a different place than me and they're younger than me or same age as me, or they're just doing better than me, I just use it as a way to say, I'm on my own journey. This is my journey. Everyone's journey is different. And I'm going to use that to just say, great, good for you. It's possible for me, but good for you. Because when you start showing gratitude towards people and happiness for their achievements, so much more is going to come to you, like so much more. And I don't just like believe this, but I know it to be true and I know it's a fact, because when I was younger and I was a very jealous person, like super jealous, not many good things would happen to me. But now I'm such a person who's very giving and very happy for other people, very happy for their success, and more is coming to me. You have to like show love and happiness towards other people for it to come to you. Like, I'm a firm believer in that. So take responsibility and take action on your feelings now. Like, just switch it around, play with that mindset a little bit, be happy for the people around you who have more than you, and more will come to you. Comparison is the thief of joy, people say. Although I think we can use it to fuel us, or we can use it to take our joy. I think there's two polarizing ways to use comparison. But I recently shared a post on my LinkedIn about my part-time job. Now on LinkedIn, it's a way for me to like get clients, and it's very like job businessy. So I never posted about my part-time job before. But I thought I would, because I just wanted to be a bit like authentic, and I almost sometimes feel like, oh, this isn't me, this isn't totally me. Like, I almost want social media to have like all of me, like you guys know everything about me, So I shared my part-time job because that is also a huge part of my life actually. It makes me the person that I am, and it takes hours out of my days. So I thought I'd share a post about my part-time job. You can see it here. I'll also link my LinkedIn below if you do want to connect. Yeah, it was very vulnerable, but it performed the best, obviously. I had a few messages after that, and it was incredible to see that there was a girl who specifically messaged me and said that she would often compare her journey to mine, but that post really resonated with her and just made her feel less like in comparison, and just feel like, oh, okay, like we're all on our own journeys actually, and you'll never know someone's full story. And I said that to her, like, you'll never fully know. So comparison is just pointless because you're comparing yourself to a situation that you just don't know. You will just never know like the full situation, even no matter how much you think you know on social media. Like, I'm an oversharer on social media fully, but still you don't know. You don't actually know. When you're comparing yourself to like some kind of facade that's not actually there. So there's really no point. And if you really are wondering like how people got to a place that they are at, send them a message, and I swear to you, it's not going to be as linear as you think it is. Okay, so let's talk about ego and your ego, because I honestly think your ego can get in the way of so much growth. We constantly want to look good, we constantly want to have that status and want to be, seen as successful or happy or like beautiful in other people's eyes, and it's just wanting to feed our ego sometimes. And for a long time, this is the reason why I didn't want to share my part-time job with people, because my ego was just too big. And now I think back and I'm just like, who even cares? Who even cares? My ego is so big that I'm like afraid to tell people that I work in a cafe. Like, ew. I don't disrespect people who work in a cafe, you know, like I love cafes so much. If we didn't have people who worked in cafes, I would be so sad. And when I meet someone who works in a cafe, I don't look down on them at all. So it's just my ego, like, telling me that working in a cafe is worthless or something. So when you are like putting yourself down because you have this part-time job that you don't enjoy, or you work in a warehouse or something, like, why don't you think that's worthy? Why don't you think that's good work? Because actually, when you think about it, it's really important. And a mindset shift that I have created is like, it literally says it on my board here on my wall. It says, the cafe is funding my future. It's an investment into me. And when I think like that, when I have that mindset, it makes sense. Why would I not want to do that? Why would I not want to fund my future self? Like, and why am I so afraid to tell people and share that with people? It's, if anything, it's not a bad thing. It's actually quite a noble thing. And yeah, just like shift your mindset around it, and also understand that people do not care as much as you care. The only person who really cares is yourself. The only person who is really caught up on this idea that you're embarrassing or behind in life is you. Nobody else is thinking it. It's all about what we have to work on inside. It's not about, it's not about how people view us, because at the end of the day, people probably aren't even thinking about us. It's just we're thinking about ourselves, and we're thinking about what they think of us. So let go of that ego and understand that what you're doing is valuable anyway, and people probably do not care as much as you care. Sorry, but it's very, very true. Okay, so what can you do now? Like, with all this information that I've given you, I really want you to get empowered by your story, get empowered by your journey, get empowered by where you're at right now, and use it to fuel you. Own your story, share your story, use it to fuel you. When I shared that post on LinkedIn, all it did was fuel me to quit my job, because then eventually I can share a post saying I quit my cafe job. Like, use your story to fuel you to get to where you want to be, and also use it to build you. You are probably underestimating the skills that you are learning with whatever job you are doing right now, or whatever degree you are doing right now. If you need to do it, you need to stick it out, then use the skills you are learning to build you as a person, and to build your skills, to build your knowledge, because I guarantee it is building you, even if you don't think that it is. I am going to end this video here now. Thank you so much for watching this. It was something that was on my mind for such a long time, and it's a topic that actually means a lot to me because I've had 7 part-time jobs now, and oh my god, when I say that out loud, I'm like, oh my god, I feel sick. That's so embarrassing. But it's not. Like, I've just done it because I have to provide for myself, and I wanted to move away from my hometown. So that was the way that I felt most comfortable and I felt most secure. If I could just work a part-time job, know that that income is coming in whilst I build on the things that I love, whilst I spend time building businesses and doing what I love. For me, it's worked, and I cannot wait to not have a part-time job. But that's my journey, that's my story. So own your story. And this was super long. I didn't think this was going to be so long. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day, week, month, life. I hope I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.